Hi folks, someone asked me about the Lilly Pillies that we planted when we first moved into the property, so I thought I'd just come down and do a quick update. They all are doing okay, a bit slow starters, but that's what happens when you put in larger plants rather than the small ones. But I'll just take a walk up along, and yeah, there looks as if there's a lot of new growth. I confess that because they're along the front fence line, I don't take much notice of them. They're sort of left to their own devices, but as you can see, we are getting buds on them. And new growth, which is excellent. Of course, the birds love the Lilly Pillies when they're out, particularly when the berries come out, and of course the nectar when they're in flower. So I'll just take a quick stroll. But actually I'm glad the person asked me about them because I hadn't been looking, but they're full of buds. Excellent. So the answer to the question was they're doing very well. I think I actually said slow but okay. Well, I have to say it's better than that. You can see all the buds, they're full of them. So I'm very pleased about that. I know they're fairly tough. I wasn't really worried about them, but they're excellent. Just go along here, just do a little check. Yep, all new growth, and they're all budding up nicely. In fact, they're going to look really nice soon when they burst into flower, and then of course the buds, and then when the berries appear, the birds just love the native birds, so actually very pleased with them. This one, look at all these ones here. This one's covered in them. So these will be a great food source for the birds. Excellent. Each and every one is doing very well. Full of buds. So very pleased with that. And I'll just do the last three up here to give them all a health check. And as you see, this is the ones that we planted. Delighted with their progress. Oops. And last two. Yep, again doing very well. And lucky last. Full of berries. Or it's not berries, sorry, blooms, soon to be flower, buds, and soon to be berries. And I'll just turn the camera around. This is a section just behind them, which has been all planted for wildlife. Totally neglected by us for the moment. We just can't get round every area, but we'll tackle them as and when we can. But there's no doubt that the birds and wildlife will love this area. Plenty of shelter for them. And grevilleas. But I'll just run up to this tree. Look at this one. So the grevilleas. he's just gone away. There was even a bee in this grevillea. But I think actually this area will need clipped back, but that will come eventually. But it's actually thriving with all the rain. As I said, plenty of cover for the critters. And I see I don't think you can see, but there's actually a few bees around. Anyway. These again are massive Dianella, the flax lily. They're everywhere. They will need thinning out at some stage, but this area is a job all on its own. But again, you just have to do and a little bit at a time. But I'm happy to report the Lilly Pillies are doing extremely well, so I'm happy about that. Oops, you can see the line in the fence, and doing very well. Oops. There is a magnolia on the other side of the gate. You can see one bloom, but unfortunately the rain came and knocked out the other two that were blooming. But there seems to be plenty more on the tree, but it's been overshadowed by the tree above it. But again, we can't do anything about that, they're too big. Anyway, everything just seems to do their own thing and survive the best they can, and we do our bit when we can to help them along. So that's my Lilly Pilly update. Oh, and just for completeness, I thought I'd just show this side. This is the other side of all that wildlife planting area. This is the other side which faces onto the driveway. I mean, plenty of grass is growing through and weeds. You can see your grevillea there. And the rain's out, there's certainly a huge amount of growth, which is excellent. The rain has really helped it to thrive. But as I said, we will have to get in there at some stage and do a bit of clearing. Although the critter's probably quite happy the way it is. And there's that huge tree that I showed you from the other side. And you swing round and up the driveway back to the house. And this was the new, is the new driveway bed that we recently did. That's doing very well. And the daylilies are doing okay as well. And the trees. And down to the gate.